Hey there, Bloomers and friends. Rev Kev coming to you from Bethlehem. Well, no, actually, Nazareth. No, wait, our Bloom Chapel, our Bloom Studio, as we are coming to you live from our nativity scene, live to tape as it is, from our nativity scene. Today, when this is being recorded, is Epiphany Day, January 6th, the 12th day of Christmas. And I can't remember what the 12 was. Anyway, were the ladies leaping or pipers piping? Oh, 12 pipe. Russ is giving me hints. It's the pipers piping. Drummers drumming. 12 drummers drumming. Okay. Anyway, I'm excited about this, and partially because I'm noticing how members of our congregation, coming from their own cultures and their own family backgrounds and so forth, are, celebrating this as Three Kings Day and making special cakes and, having kind of special things going on. And that sort of, I don't even reduce it to multiculturalism, but that sort of, authenticity of heritage is something that's, really great. And it makes me excited about next year, when we're not limited by the COVID restrictions and so forth, that we really ought to have like a real Three Kings kind of celebration on Epiphany Sunday, and have people bring their cakes and bring their items from their heritage and from their family. I just think that's very precious, and I appreciate that. Our manger scene here is, I grew up with it being called a manger scene, our nativity, our creche. It's in the Neapolitan style, and it was a gift to Bloom a few years ago. What I like about it, one of the aspects, is the great detail to the characters. And the other thing is, we've got, our gorgeous magi have come onto the scene. There's three of them. Now, the only way that we know that there were three is from the song, We Three Kings. The deal is that there's no record in the Gospel of Matthew, which is the one that tells this story, that they came from, that there were three. It just says, magi, wise people, leaders, it's various ways to be interpreted, came, and they followed a star, and it's assumed they came from the east because the star was in the west. This is Matthew, and remember always the Magi story is in Matthew because Magi, Matthew, that's it. The shepherd story is in Luke. The Magi story the wise men story is in Matthew. This is done to show that the birth of Christ is for the whole world. It's for everybody. It's not just for Israel. It's for everybody. That's what a standard, very condensed interpretation of the reason for the story is. The other thing that needs to be said is, if you put the historical aspects together, they didn't all arrive on that same night. In fact, some people think these guys showed up 2 years later. And that's taken from the fact of the rest of the story, where Herod puts out an order to kill all children 2 years and younger. So the child Jesus was most likely a toddler when this traditional story really is taking place, or a 2-year-old, 1.5-year-old, 2-year-old, when this story is taking place. So it wasn't like in the stories that we have that everybody gets together in a nice, cozy, warm barn with nice, clean hay and non-smelly animals on Christmas Eve. The story is much more elongated. And the other aspect is that Mary and Joseph would have only been in Bethlehem for a short time in order to register, and then they go back to their home in Nazareth. So it's very possible that the Magi, when they actually visited and found the child, they would have been visiting Nazareth. All of that sort of thing may blow apart our concept of the Christmas story, and yet, on the other hand, it brings to it an authenticity of history and scholarship that is consistent with the authenticity of the family traditions that people develop and the other kinds of things that people have done to add to the meaning of the time. I heard someone this morning, one of my neighbors, tell me about the tradition that he had on Three Kings Day, that the kids went to sleep when they put a shoebox with grass under their beds, and the grass was for the camels to eat. And then when they woke up in the morning, the box was missing and there was grass strewn out their bedroom door, and under their beds was a present. That's just kind of really charming, wonderful stuff. And this was a story coming from a guy who grew up in Puerto Rico. So that is pretty wonderful. So this is our tradition, and it's the last day for our decorations here in the Bloom Chapel. It's the last day for our ones at home. For me, it's kind of a letdown day, even though it's exciting and fun because it's Epiphany Day. It's the recognition, the spreading of the word, the reason we go tell it on the mountain, that the Savior is born among us, that God has come in human form, that love has taken a human shape, and that it is for the whole world in what is happening, and people recognize it. And we're hoping that people will actually, really will recognize this aspect of love in human form, and that being the purpose of our faith. Next Sunday coming up, we acknowledge the baptism of Jesus and talk about that a little bit. And we hope you can be with us. We'll look forward to Dr. Dennis Marine bringing his piano music. We look forward to the persons who are participating in worship leadership, and I'll be bringing a message. And, we will be together and beginning our year and going forward. Our purpose is taking this love in human form that is represented by this scene and sharing it with all of those who are around us, and that's what we will do. So we hope to see you in church on Facebook Live or later on YouTube, and feel free to subscribe on YouTube. That's helpful to us, and we'll see you then. And as always, please keep us in your prayers.